down years have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Dillon again. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on fourth. Movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Butker's kick here is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But
and he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
From down near his goal line here, Herbert. And going deep for Hill. He's got a man, complete, past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. I think you can make a fair case for Tyreek Hill being the most explosive player in the NFL when he gets his hands on the football, and that was Exhibit A.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play that time through the air, 31 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Check that. We want Mike 52 right here.
Looking to throw. That's complete to Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the 1st. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. On 2nd down, Dillon. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. 20! And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Dillon, they try the left side with him. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 minutes remaining in the 1st half. 10-7, our score. On 2nd down, Dillon. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Justin Herbert keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Round 7. Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 and makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
Escaping the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On 1st down, it's Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll drop to throw. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it. But 3rd down coming up.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 40. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. And how about the... Big boy showing off the wheels.
Let's face it, anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks in.
All eyes.
Everyone locks in, and the rumbling, you can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, Dillon. He's to the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Dillon, as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Justin Herbert looking to pass. Now swing pass for Dillon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They begin the drive with Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. He'll check this down, complete to Dillon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Herbert now. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. $51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and run the option. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw him off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
They'll try and throw for it. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a handoff here to his running back. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Herbert off of play action. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Come on. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. On play action, they'll throw. An unlucky number here, a loss of 13 on the play. And that'll bring up a third down and very long. He'll drop to throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Dillon now on 1st and 10. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 80 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Browns, there will be no perfect season here as the win streak to start the year ends at 11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.